Denny Carman, and I am one of the owners of Chrysalis Gallery, and I do a lot of whatever around town. Arts.
So where's it located?
911 South Monroe Street, and we're straight across the street from Huckleberry's.
So what gave you the idea to do this?
To open it?
Mm-hmm.
It was, I thought about it for years, but it wasn't a plan. I didn't say I want to go open a gallery. I'm glad I did. I'm very happy now. But I was looking for a new home, basically what it was, because everything was sky high as far as rentals, and then we sold our house. So I asked an artist friend of mine if she's a real estate lady, and I said, "Do you have any for rent out medical aid? Because I'll move anywhere to get out of the place I was in." And she asked me what I was looking for, so that's how I got into this. She said, "What's your dream home?" I said, "I'd like to have a house with a gallery in it." I wasn't really thinking it was going to happen, but she said, "Oh man, I got a place for you." So that's how I got the place. But then it was going to be, I wasn't really planning on doing it myself, but then it was going to be an extension of MAD, because I figured if we made a second location for MAD, then we just go under that license. And I guess I was kind of being lazy where I didn't want to get the license and everything. But then after I talked to Morgan and Anthony after a while, I could tell they were very busy where they're at. And then that's when I said, well, I'll just take this and run with it. And that's basically how it got going. Yeah.
So what's the kind of underlying philosophy of your gallery?
My main thing that I've always done, and the way I feel about everything in the arts, is to help up-and-coming artists. Not that we're not going to help the show and help every artist that comes through the door, that we can. It's just, I focus on trying to give every single artist, whether you paint rocks or whatever it is, you knit, I don't care what it is, that's talent. And I want to, as DJ feels the same way as me, is I want to get them out and show, help them go forward, and hopefully, be successful as they move forward in the arts. So that's what the plan is for here, and that will not change. So we're gonna have outside events, and plus we do other stuff around town too. So just to give everybody a shot, basically what it is.
So
I'm DJ Moon, and I work here at the gallery. I'm exhibition manager. We've been throwing titles around because our goal eventually is to be a nonprofit. So there's kind of different ways that things are going to be ran if we're a regular business versus if we're a nonprofit business. So co-owner, I guess. But, yeah.
Of course, definitely.
and how did you meet Denny?
I met Denny on Facebook a few years ago. I don't remember who added who, but he did an honors post for me. And I was super stoked about it, and we ended up finally meeting. I was on it. I was like on top of it. Met him for coffee at the flour mill, and we just kind of talked about some stuff, and I liked his vibes, and we worked together a couple times since then, doing some shows and stuff. But this is what's really brought us together professionally as a gallery. So, yeah.
So you say that you're an exhibition director?
Exhibition manager.
Manager.
Yeah.
And what does that entail?
So I curate everything. So curation is not just necessarily organizing who's going to show, but also organizing the art in a way that's going to be like visually appealing, setting up a flow. There is kind of a science to making sure the art's hung up in a way that it's going to draw people in. Also keeping it diverse so people don't get bored, stuff like that. And I also manage a lot of the social media stuff, digital posters, coordinating with artists, and hopefully soon setting up some outdoor events.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So if someone was to want to bring some of their art to have it exhibited, what is something that you look for to help kind of put everything together so that way they know what they should bring in and be prepared for?
To be honest, the first thing that I look for is good communication. It's really, really important to have strong communication skills back and forth between us and the artist. That's going to ensure that things get here on time, that everything goes smoothly, that the expectations are clear on both ends. So that's the first thing I look for sure. But in regard to art, it's kind of hard to say if I look for anything because we just have so many talented people who apply. So our application list is starting to grow, so that's something I definitely need to narrow down in the future, kind of what we're to look for. But we just do look for a variety each month. So if someone doesn't get in 1 month because they're similar to one person, then hopefully they'll get in the next month, and so on. But yeah, communication's big, and just having a decent amount of work. You know, if someone's like, I have 2 paintings, it's probably not quite enough. So seeing that they have some a decent variety of work is good.
Do you guys look for a specific genre of art, or is it kind of eclectic? Anything as long as it's good, bring it
Anything
in,
goes,
we'll
yep.
help you get set up.
Anything goes, and good is subjective. I think a big thing that Denny and I both focus on is like someone's commitment, you know, someone's passion towards being a creative person in general. You could paint the most beautiful, hyper-realistic thing ever, but if it doesn't seem like you're doing something you're passionate about, it might not catch our eye as much.
So you're looking for passion in art.
For sure.
We want to help every artist we can, but it takes the artist, because you get a lot of artists that will want to just bring you a little bit of art and say, here, buy, I'll see you in a month when I pick it up. You know, you get a lot of that. We want the artists to help to learn or realize that they have to put in the time too. It's just not us, hey, come in here, drop everything off, and we'll do all the work. They have to put in the time, they have to promote, they have to love their art, they want to move forward with their art. Not just, I don't know if that makes sense. That's what I look at, because I've had a lot of artists over the years that they drop the art off to me, and then I don't see them, I don't hear from them for...
You're looking for people that like have commitment.
Yeah,
actually,
I mean,
this is their thing that they're gonna keep doing.
There's a lot of people out there that just want to create, you know, just want to paint just to have some fun, which is totally fine. But if you're going to show like in a gallery or like this, you know, you gotta want to move forward, you know, because we're here working hard like every day trying to make this thing succeed, and we want them to succeed, but they have to want to move forward, not just, you know, I'm gonna paint a bottle and say bye. That's not how it works. Yeah, so, and that's why I'm so glad the DJ came on board, because am I going off in the wrong direction here for you?
Keep going.
I'll just gonna say real quick, when I decided to open this place, I don't get overwhelmed very often, because you know I do 20,000 things at once. I'm all over this town, and I love every minute of it. When I was opening this place up, I was just recovering from surgery. Well, I wasn't really recovered, and this and that, and I was worried about how I was gonna get everything done. And it's been a long time since I've been around owning the business or anything, so even the licensing and all that stuff, I was like, I didn't know which way to go with it at that time. Then when DJ came on board, she said she wanted to help. I knew as soon as she walked in here and we started to talk, and she said, nope, don't you worry about that, I'll handle this. Don't you worry about that, I'll handle this. I'm like, okay, this is working out. Then I thought, I'll see how she does. And bam, bam, and even now, she'll get a hold of me and say, okay, I've done this, I've done that. And it's like, this was meant to be. So she's in here for the long haul, and as far as I consider her, she is part owner of this place, and she will be in the future legally, because we are going to take this gallery and go forward and make a difference in this town.
So that leads me to my next question.
Yeah.
What's your mission for working in Spokane? What are your end goals?
Well, you know, our number one thing before we even get into all that is the nonprofit status is one of our big goals right now, is to get that set up, because like any gallery that starts out and doing the work that we do, it takes funds. I mean, again, it takes funds. And so nonprofit, then you can start, you know, getting the donations to help us move forward. And then we want to do the vendor events. I work with the kids all over the community. I want to do classes with the kids, but to help the schools, you got to have materials, because the schools are tight on materials. Just outside events, I have locations around town where we can show more art. I'd like to get more locations. So, I mean, we have a good space here. I think we have 6 or 7 artists showing at one time. That's not including jewelry and all that. So we can fit more than I thought we would fit in here. But then I also get art that comes in, like that art that I got from Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
I support local pretty heavy. So that's nothing against that art, but I can't fill the location with art from another country, because that
Mhm.
doesn't really help the
Local
local
community.
people. So my goal is to have a location around town here, which I'm talking to people to where we can do a show away from here too. So truthfully, the goal is just to be everywhere. To be honest with you, I love it. And I know with DJ by my side, because she's got a lot more energy than I got, because I'm probably 3 times the age or whatever. We work good together.
I think something about turning this into a nonprofit rather than a profit business, for-profit business, is they're not dogging on for-profit galleries at all. I mean, you want to start a business, you want to make profit, great. But with this being able to be a nonprofit, I think it opens up some doors for the arts community that might not necessarily be able to happen in a regular gallery. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So by being able to be a nonprofit and depend more on community funding and grants and stuff like that, we can give space to people who might not get into a regular for-profit gallery, because if your art is deemed, if it's the style or maybe you have some sort of disadvantage or whatever it is that leads you to have these barriers to not be able to get into a for-profit gallery, if your art's not viewed as profitable, that's where we can step in and give people, you know, a chance to get their work out there, and a chance to say like, yes, your work is worthy, you know, you do have, you know, a right to have your art shown publicly, and giving them the space to do so is really important. So I think that's a big reason why the nonprofit status is really important.
What can people do locally to support Chrysalis? Like if someone like me, like I love doing stuff for people. I help out at MAD all the time. So like, what can Joe Schmo do to help support the arts here?
Free things that people can do is just word of mouth, handing out business cards, sharing social media posts, recommending people to come here, bring a group of friends to come here. Financially, things people can do, come buy something, even if you don't want to buy a whole painting or don't have the funds to do so, buying something small. If you don't want it, buy a gift for someone else. Every dollar does help. And we also accept donations. There's info for that on our website. But just know that the donations are just, you know, going to keeping this place going, keeping the lights on, expanding, having better events, you know, putting that aside so we can have bigger, better, more organized, coordinated events in the future, stuff like that. But yeah, the easiest thing to do would just be getting the word out there, sharing it with people.
Yeah.
I've had 3 local galleries that came in to see me already over the last 2 or 3 weeks. I know almost all of them anyway, but they came in to see me and they asked me to give me advice, which I love advice. I wish I knew it all, but I definitely don't. But I had talks with all of them about working in the future together, because I would like all the galleries, you know, start working together. Like DJ was saying, is like how to help each other. If we get the galleries working together, then if we have some art here, or somebody brings some art here that just won't fit for a show or something, we might be able to say, okay, well, I know Avenue West could use this piece over at their place. And they might say, when they're over there, hey, I know Denny and DJ have this art over there. So just kind of feeding it back and forth, it's going to help the art community. That's why I've always looked at it. And I have no doubt there's some that just want to stick to themselves, and that's totally fine, but they want to do that. But I want to work with everyone, and I think we can build this community even better and bigger if we all work together.
So what's the next big project y'all are working towards?
If it's in the works right now, well, we have one we'll be announcing soon, but we're not going to say it yet.
I'm excited.
Well, it's a year away, so I put a teaser out today, matter of fact, because I like to tease people a little bit. It gets the interest. But we're working out everything on that, and DJ will be putting a flyer together and all that. We have Art on Monroe coming up again, which I will be meeting. I'm supposed to be meeting at the end of this month, which is right around the corner. I want to make that bigger. The last one was 110, I think, signed up. 100 showed up, which you always have a few that don't show. So we have that happening. We're going to have Artspiration, which is in the Garland District. We fill the whole sidewalks there with artists and vendors. That date hasn't been set yet either. So those 2 are for sure. I want to have 2 Art of Monroe. They're kind of talking about 1, but we'll see what happens. those are the two that I know of that we have for right now. Other than that, we'll be doing First Fridays for Lumen High School downtown. That starts in May again because they want to be part of First Friday. And then we are starting a new project, which is Second Saturday. Well, and this is, I respect downtown how they do things. That's totally their business how they do that. But their First Friday has a border, the downtown area. So if you're outside of that border, you can't be part of First Friday. So I got a hold of them and said I'd like to, represent our artists in First Friday, but I can't be part of that because I'm outside the border. Yeah, which that's fine. But when somebody says that I can't do something this day, we're gonna do it another day, so another time. That's just the way it is. So starting February
11th.
Let's say 11th? February 11th, yeah. We're gonna have our first second Saturday, and that'll be every month.
Definitely be coming down.
Yeah. We have a solo artist coming in here as far as yard goes. And then once the warm weather hits, so we can be outside, we'll be setting vendors up. We have a yard next to us, a big yard over at the lawyer's office. We get that whole yard and porch too. So when it gets warm, during our second Saturdays, we'll have that all vendors out in front at the same time to just get more and more people up here. And I'm hoping to work with Huckleberries on that too. So second Saturday starts next month, and that's where we have Michael Edwards meet and greet, as far as I know. So.
And if someone wanted to become part of your Second Saturdays things, how would they contact you and get a hold of you?
To the website. They have to go to a website, which is, and you're gonna make me think on this, but it should be theartchrysalis.com. I get it mixed up. I got so much going through this crazy head that half the time I forget everything.
I feel it.
But one thing that I'm not having trouble with, but I'm trying to get used to, is all the years that I've been doing what I do, if somebody gets hold of me and say, I want to be part of the event, or I want to show art to hang somewhere, okay, fine, I'll do it. Let's write it down, come and see me, and we do it. But now we're going to gallery, and it has to be organized.
Mm-hmm.
And I got told that I need to get organized on that part, which you're right, everybody's right. Plus, and it's for my benefit too, because I get people contact me all the time. So rather than everybody send me messages, hey Denny, can we talk, go to the website, whether you know me or not, whether I've seen your work with you for years, and apply. That's how you do it. Anything that we're doing, apply. And then we will get back to you and figure that out. So trying to avoid 20,000 calls a day.
Mm-hmm. So if someone wanted to start their first vendor event or wanted to attend their first vendor event, what is some advice you guys would give?
Because I get asked stuff about all the time when somebody wants to be part of it. What do I need? I mean, everybody gets a hold of me once they apply. Well, what do I need to have a vendor event? Do I need my own chair? Do I need my own table? Do I need this? Do I need a way to collect money? Yes, on all of it, We set up the vendor event. We do all the work, the promotion, and the whole ball of wax, and we're here from the start to the finish if you need something. And I get out there and help carry things sometimes too. But you have to bring everything that you need to sell your work. You have to have it there. I'm not going to give you a chair. I'm not going to go buy tables. Bring your table, your chair, and then you collect your funds on your sales. And just be ready. Just like a business. Just figure your business. You're setting your business up outside. Come and see me. How you're going to handle your business. Somebody else is going to do it for you. You need to do it.
So basically, you provide the space, they need to provide the building up kind of for their little business.
Right, because everybody's different. Yeah, I've had some people that just come out with just a table,
Mm-hmm.
no canopy or anything, and then or just set stuff on a table. I have ones that have easels to put their art up, or the mesh or the racks to hang their art. So they learn as they go what works for them. But and we will still have to advise them. I mean, we'll still have to walk them through some things, but yeah. Just be ready, basically. Don't think that we're going to supply it.
So what got you into the artist side of kind of like setting up these things for people?
I mean, I've been doing art my whole life, but I recently went back to school. I recently have gotten sober as well. Recently, as in a few years, but that's still pretty recent. But going to school and being more exposed to kind of the inner workings of things really opened my eyes to stuff. I started volunteering at the MAC as well, and I just kind of got exposed to like this behind the scenes stuff, how this stuff actually functions, because I never understood it. I was like, look at my art, it's beautiful, it's amazing, like why aren't I rich and famous already? And so I started trying to dig a little bit and like, oh, you know, there's a huge process that goes into all of this stuff. And so I started learning that a little bit. And I just realized I really enjoyed it. I picked up an internship helping with the gallery at EWU. And I got a ton of really great hands-on experience from that, helping out at the MAC and just doing some other random stuff throughout the years. And just realizing that I do like that aspect of it. I do like the aspect of like getting it out to the public in a way that's effective, I guess. Like a way, instead of just like, oh, look at my picture on social media, like my art, and I'm gonna be a famous artist. Like, no. Like doing like the coordination of everything and presenting things in like a beautiful, effective way. I just love it so much. It's a ton of fun. It's very rewarding. It's super rewarding when people walk in here for the first time and they're like, wow, it looks so great. And I'm like, yes. Like, cause there's so much more to getting art out into the world than just the making of it. So I like that part that helps get it out there a little more.
And for artists that are just learning how to do presentation, what is the biggest thing that makes a difference for that?
The biggest problem that artists have when they come to showing, whether it's showing here or a vendor event or anything like that, is talking. I know that sounds kind of, yeah, it sounds kind of easy to overdo, but it is not. Big percentage of these artists, I was that way. When I first started years ago, I wasn't who I am now. I mean, I wasn't as talkative as I drive people crazy now with my talking. But back then, after I got injured, I came out of a lot of stuff. I was very kind of withdrawn. I just didn't talk a lot. So when first time I showed my art, I was sweating bullets more than I am right now. I was sweating bullets. I was nervous because as an artist, I can tell you, you know it too, the first time somebody looks at your work, they're looking at something that you came out of your mind. It means a lot to you when you create something. And then you got people looking at it, and they're gonna say nay or yeah, whatever it is. And I get a lot of artists, and we will get them, they'll set up their booth or their table and set everything up, and then they'll just sit down and hide in the corner and not say a word. You know, get up there, just talk, whatever you need to do, paint live, make jewelry live, whatever it is, draw those people in. That's what they need to learn. They just need to figure out a way to draw the customers to them. Because you'll see people walking through, if they'll see somebody that they're not even talking to, they just kind of go around, and then they'll come right over to somebody that's, you know, being jabbering away or doing something. So they need to learn that. That's number one. It's talking to the public. So that's my opinion. Just so everybody know that we're here to stay as far as it is. One thing I do not do is give up very easy. I'm very, very, very stubborn. And I have a feeling that DJ is too. And I just want everybody to, you know, if you haven't been here, come and see us. Come to walk. Everybody that's come through this door so far, every single one. And this is a compliment to DJ too, because everybody walks in here, they walk in and go, this is nice. They say, this is so comfortable. They say, we like the way it's laid out. You walk in, you feel like you're welcomed here, and I talk a lot, like I said. We want it to be like a home to them. Come in. If you don't buy, fine. You'll come back and just, you know, give it a chance. Most people know who I am, but they don't know this part of it. And we're just getting started.
The address is 911 South Monroe. We're right across the street from Huckleberry's. You can park in the back, just so you know. And the website is theartchrysalis.com. And it is Chrysalis. We had to figure out for a while if it was Chrysalis, I don't know. We said a bunch of different stuff, but
I didn't know what it was the first time somebody suggested a name. It's been a while since I've been to school, so.
yeah, theartchrysalis.com.